members of PMA, the participants on the screen today, right now, who are comprising of both annual members of PMA as well as non-members. And of course, a warm welcome to the speaker of the day, Mrs. Saili Nikhil Shirsagar, and also all my student chapter representatives. As you have been seeing on the screen, PMA Pune Management Association, it's an independent trust and a public organization in effect from 1977, and we promote the exchange of knowledge, experience, and ideas. Am I audible to everyone, please?
Yes, 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 ma'am.
So I would request to please check your connections as well.
I'm not getting the voice.
Um, and we will also be hearing more about PMA going forward. May I request right now on screen, Pradeep ji, to please add in on a few words on PMA. Do we have? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. Warm welcome to each of the participants for this today's webinar. We are having session after quite a long time, particularly or rather exclusively for the student members. So I extend my warm welcome to all of you. And on behalf of each one of you, I extend my warm welcome to Saili madam, who will be sharing her knowledge about the very, very important and dear topic to you, that is CV design skills as well as interview techniques. I don't know whether she will be able to cover both the topics in one go, but if not, don't worry, we can have a separate session subsequently. I think let me talk something about Pune Management Association. Pune Management Association, many of you may not be aware. It's, you can say, very old organization, informally started functioning way back in 1965. Yes, many of you were not even born. And formally we established ourselves as the charitable trust way back in 1977. And who were the founder members? The top industrialists of our country, let Shantabrauji Kirloskar, let Nilkantrauji Kalyani, let C.V. Zo, let Chandrakanji Kirloskar, and let Mr. V.S. Vaidya. These industrialists came together and established Pune Management Association. And since then, we have been pursuing various activities with the main aim of promotion of scientific principles of management amongst the management professionals as well as the budding management professionals, that is students. Many of you may be thinking how PMA can help you. Yes, there are 2-3 important points I will share. Rest you can refer to our website and see. Number one, you need help in the placement. Number two, you need help in projects. Number three, you need help in your internship. Yes, and in all the three aspects, yes, PMA, particularly more than 130 professionals who are working voluntarily will help you to get and achieve your goals. We have established 14 different verticals. So you may be having your specialization in maybe HR or maybe marketing or different fields, but I think it is our duty to give you exposure to different areas of management, which you may or may not be able to aware, or you may not be able to get the guidance. Yes, we are there to help you through our professional members. I will not take much time. I'll just say that I must thank you all, because today we have received record registration of 306. This is really a record registration.
Wonderful.
So many of you may be required to join our YouTube channel to see this particular program live. So I must thank you. It's my duty to thank you, each one of you, for the grand response, and keep on joining our programs. Shruti Madam will be announcing future programs immediately tomorrow. We have a session on various legal formalities you are required to complete when you want to start your own business or enterprise. So there are n number of programs lined up. So please do and join the PMA. Keep on watching our website. Thank you, and back over to you, Shruti Madam.
Thank you so much, Prashantji. Thank you. And yes, Pune Management Association is highly enriched with a whole lot of experience and experienced members who are here. And I would sincerely urge all the student members. I've been part of this association for a while now, and the kind of honorary programs that are running continuously, they are a huge value addition to everyone as far as your career and your professional career goes, as well as your personal life. So I would really say continue to be on Pune Management Association, follow the group, and we will be giving you details at the end of how you can be a part of this as well. Um, Before I begin, I would once again formally thank everyone to be here. Bimanji, I can see on screen. Nitinji, thank you for being here. And we will hear more from Nitin sir towards the end of the session. Um, and also to all the office bearers who are here, a warm welcome to you all. Um, I would request everyone, except for the speaker, to put your microphones on mute. Also, if you have questions, because the topic today is really, really interesting and very important, so do write down your questions and put it on the chat box as well. We will have a question and session towards the end. Um, and yes, before I think much ado, um, let me introduce the speaker of the day today. Can you hear now? Is it good to
Yeah,
go?
actually, Shruti, I have joined from mobile,
Okay, sure.
and
So
my
now,
laptop is also, I have joined from laptop also and from mobile also because I don't
so
know. In laptop, I
right,
am unable to hear you.
unable to hear. So maybe the laptop, you can just mute it because you may get an echo or you may get a disturbance, right?
So,
So you can mute the laptop and continue on the
yes,
device that is
yes, I
audible,
have
right?
muted the laptop.
Great,
Yeah.
awesome. So here we are, and I was chatting with the speaker for today. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Mrs. Saili Shirsagar, MPM, PGD, PIC, BCom, SAP certified, a whole lot of certifications, and um, an experience rich of 9+ years in the HR field in various automobile industry. And what we are talking today is about resume design skill with interview techniques, very important topic. And Saili ji has worked, as I said, in HR functions like payroll, safety, training and development, statutory compliance, event management, and definitely a lot more. So over to you, Saili ji. We will see the topics. I'm not going to, speak more about the topics because the title in itself is very, very interesting and important. So over to you.
Uh, Everyone is able to listen me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Which language all of you are comfortable? English, Marathi, Hindi,
All three, ma'am.
All three, ma'am.
all three. Okay. First at all, I have to say thanks to Pune Management Association that they had given me opportunity to share my experiences about resume writing and about interview preparations. Even I have to say thanks to Shruti, Mr. Pradeep Tupe sir, and of course Mr. Rahul Joshi. They have really helped me a lot, and they had really given me this opportunity that so that I can meet so students like you, and I can counsel you, I can mentor you, I can tell you the mistakes the people, the students you are doing, and there is no one in the market to tell you these things. You know, you are doing struggling, you are making so many interview calls, but there are many faults, there are many mistakes that you people are doing, but there is no one to tell you. So one day I felt ki there is a need to tell all of these things to the students, even professional people. They are lacking in this, even though they have a good experience in their domain, they are fail in interview, even they are fail in resume writing. So I have started my startup, which is Silis Connect 9, and I do counsel, I do mentoring, resume writing, and mock interviews I do take, which help people to crack the interview, to get shortlisted their resumes, uh, so they will get a support in their career. So all this is about me. Now let's move to what is resume writing, and what concepts are there, and what mistakes you people are doing, and which things we have to keep it in mind. So let's start with our presentation. So resume designing skills. Now students, these students are
Can I
not in a
request you to make
market
your
now.
full screen, please?
Is it okay? So I worked as Shruti. She had given you my introduction. I'm working on mock interview and resume writing. In my 9 years of experience, I have handled many recruitments, many selections, many interviews I had taken. So in that, I have I had taken so many challenges, and there was a need to communicate what are the lacunas in you people. So that is the thing. I have started this startup. Now, first at all, we will start with what is the difference between resume and curriculum writing. Many people, they have this they don't have idea. See, what is a resume and what is a curriculum writing? But there is a small difference between resume and curriculum vitae. In resume, we write everything about our professional experience. We include career objective, professional summary, work history, work experience, soft skills, technical skills, then training attended, and personal details. So resume generally is prepared by the job seeker from manufacturing, IT industries, and pharmaceutical industries. So resume is the document which will help you to get the job, and it includes all the information that all of you know. And curriculum vitae is also a document prepared by the job seeker, which is having all these details which are mentioned in a resume. But the people who are having extracurriculum activities, suppose few people they are having publication of books, few people they might be getting scholarships from big universities, or if there may be a case study done by the applicant. So out of your career, out of your job and your professional career, what you are doing extracurriculum. So those activities you include in curriculum writing. So that is just the minor change and the difference between resume and curriculum writing. So nowadays there is previously there was a fashion that you write resume and curriculum vitae in the front of your page, but nowadays that fashion has been elapsed, and now people have started their resume by writing their name and their profession. So this is just one of the information I am just giving you. I have just shared you. Now,
Uh,
uh,
Siley, can I
yeah.
just interrupt? If you're changing the slides, it's not visible on screen. It is still on the profile slide. Um,
Okay.
the full screen is not visible, and yeah, contact
Okay.
details. Now I
Now,
can see contact details.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in resume, there is a most important thing is contact details. In contact details, generally we used to include address, permanent address, temporary address. In this, I have found people and the students, the professionals, they don't write temporary address most of the time. Most of the time, they don't write temporary address. So what happened? Recruiter will not understand ki where exactly the that candidate is living, because if the company is in Chakan area and if that candidate is living in Chinchwad area, but that is not mentioned in the resume, how recruiter will understand that this person is living in the Chinchwad area? So what happened? Recruiter gets a question mark ki baba he had written a permanent address, and this thing happened mostly in trainees resume, the people who are not having that much experience of the industry. So I will request you all, you have to write permanent and temporary address in your resume, because recruiter has to think, recruiter or HR has to think many things before calling you for the interview. Which are those things? That whether that candidate is comfortable to travel from his residence to the company, whether we have, if company is having transport facility, whether it will be okay that if we call this candidate, it will be comfortable to that candidate to travel from that transport facility. So such things are there. So most of the time I have in my career, I have called the candidates and I have told them, "Ki, now where are you living? Please tell me." So it is hectic for the recruiter, because when a recruiter view your resume, the recruiter don't have time to call you, you know, and they really have to call many of the candidates. They have to shortlist. They have so much burden on their desk. So we have to make recruiters work very easy. So this is one of the problem I have seen in many, candidates. Second thing is why we have to mention the permanent address. Now in our Maharashtra or in our India, there is a such type of thing, like if any other candidate is from Satara area and he had mentioned that permanent address of that his permanent address is Satara, and if by mistake that recruiter is also from Satara area, so what that recruiter will say, "Arey, he is from my native place. I have to call that person." So that native place connectivity is got connect with recruiter. So what recruiter will do? He will call directly. He will call to that candidate. No, Baba, ये मेरे गाँव का है. I have to call this candidate. So this affects a lot. So you have to write both the addresses and in a full flat number, road number, building number. You don't have to write एकदम ऐसा कुछ छोटा छोटा लिखते हैं कुछ लोग, पूरा लिखते नहीं है. So you have to write the whole address, because in most of the companies they mention the address on their appointment letters, and that address is recorded in the HR system database. Whenever there will be any emergencies or whatever will be happen with that candidate, that company will may visit to that house, or there will be chances to have a communication if you write the whole address. Even some companies, they are doing a background verification. For that also they need address. So I request all these candidates, you have to write permanent and temporary address both in a full format. The next point is mobile number. Mobile number, I have seen there a few candidates, they write two mobile numbers. So I request here, you don't have to give your family member's mobile number in your resume, because when recruiter will call you, that person will say, no, I am his friend or I am his brother. So that will be a very irritative for the recruiter. Then once again call to that candidate. Then sometimes what happens, recruiter gets irritated by dialing all the mobile numbers. So you have, if you have two mobile numbers, no issue. You can write two mobile numbers, but it should be with you. Okay, if you have one mobile number, then sometimes what happens if there is a network problem and recruiter had called you, and if there is a network problem and if it is unable to reach you, sometimes after a few times recruiter may call you or may not call you. So it depends upon that situation. So whenever recruiter will try to call you, whatever will be the way, you should have access to your mobile. So generally, I suggest candidate if you have two mobiles, best way, because if there is a network problem, the recruiter will call you on another number. But please don't give family members a contact number on your resume because there is no use. Recruiter, whatever recruiter will give, ask the question, that family member will unable to answer. So this is the very fact that I have experienced in my career. Then next is email ID. Most of the time, what happened uh, if the network issues is there, and if I was unable to contact that candidate, so there may be possibility that recruiter may call you through email ID. So most of the time I have observed your email IDs are also very wrong. You are doing spelling mistakes in your email ID. So you have to check it out whether your email IDs are proper. There are no any spelling mistakes. And now everyone is having phone. So you can have easy access to email ID because if any time if recruiter had mailed you, you should have access to reply what recruiter is saying. So in resume, contact detail is very important part because on these contact details, recruiter have access to you. Now most of the thing career objective. I have seen most of the career objectives are copy paste. So even most are very interesting to read. So I will suggest career objective means your goal, your ambition, and it should be in 3 to 4 lines. You have to include your career objective in 3 to 4 lines. Then what should be included in career objective? First is short-term goals, long-term goals, and third is what you can contribute for the growth of the organization. This is very important. Even most of the people they don't know what is their career objective. So at whatever the stage of your career, you have to think, okay, now what should be my career objective? Whether I want to work in an IITF certified company, or I have to seek now managerial level position, or whatever it may be. So you have to identify. Many people they don't know what is their career objective. So I will say to the candidate, you do the brainstorming. Ki now what you want from your career. Okay, so this is very important, and it should be in a 3 to 4 lines. Most of the recruiters they don't read your career objective, but I will suggest ki whatever is your career objective, you write it down in a very precisely and in short. Even you can put numbers. One, my career objective is. Two, my career objective is this. Perfect. The recruiter will say, wow, what good career objective is. Okay. Now, I know in this session there are many freshers are there. But then also it's my duty because in future you will be experienced people. So you should know what should be there in professional summary. Most of the time I had seen they write a big essays. Most experienced people they write so many things on professional summary. So recruiter don't have time to read your professional summary. So professional summary means what? In short, your professional functions you have to write down. In short. So what it will include? Your core competencies, your total year of experience. Most of the people they forget this, that they have 10 years of experience, 12 years of experience. Most of the time they forgot to write down the total year of experience in the profession. Then about your function and job, key in exactly which area you are having work experience, like maintenance, HR, business development. So about that you have to write in a very short way. You don't have to write an essay, please, because recruiter don't read your resume, which is having so many things like essays. So you have to write a very precisely keywords and core competencies. Now I am using graphics in resume for core competencies, which will show you in a pictorial format which are the core competencies, and it is very easy to read. You now there is a now these days are of infographics. You have to use infographics in your resume, so it will give a very good at the very first stage. Recruiter eyes will go to that picture. So I will suggest in professional summary it should be a very short, and you have to include core competencies in your professional summary. Okay. Now the next is work history. Most of the time, most of the people they don't know what should be the order of the organization. There are many people who don't know what organization should be first and what should be the second. So this is very important that you have to keep it in mind that the organization now you are currently that should be the first, and your previous organization should be second one. So most of the people, not experienced people, but the candidates who are not that much in the industry and who are just having 3 to 4 years of experience. So the order of your organization should be descending order. Means the current organization where you are working should be first and your past organization should be second. Now second point is company profile. In work history, we have to write 2 to 3 lines about your company, because in this field there are so many organizations, but we are unable to know the technical background of those organizations. Few organizations are sheet metal, few are plastic injection molding, but as a third person, as a recruiter don't know about that company. Okay, leave Mahindra, Fiat, all these companies are known to recruiter, but there are many medium scale industries, small scale industries, that their technical background is unknown to the recruiter. So I suggest that you write down company profile in a very short. Even you can write whether company is IITF certified, ISO certified. You can write that also. Even you have to mention the customers. If you write the customers, it will give a very good weightage to your resume. If there is a business development manager and he has worked with Mahindra or he worked with Fiat as a customer, so what it gives a message to the recruiter that he knows everything about rules and regulations of Mahindra and Fiat. So if you automatically got connected with the customer, so the people who are specifically from business development side, or from different marketing people, they have to mention the customer. So it really gives a very good message to the recruiter, yeah, that he knows everything about that customer, the rules or regulations or whatever it may be. So you have to write down company profile. Don't leave it as a blank. Then third is designation. Most of the time people do manipulation on the designation. I request that your designation should be as per appointment letter. Most of the people say, no ma'am, my current designation is not that much attractive. It is not showing that much fashion. So I will suggest candidates, you don't have authority to change your designation. You have to mention your designation as per appointment letter. You have to mention. Then fourth is joining and leaving date. In joining and
Madam, you have muted yourself.
Gone on mute.
Hello, now?
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Most of the time, what happened in joining and leaving date, people don't write the month. So you have to write the month and year. If you have not mentioned the date, is it okay? But you have to write month and year in your joining and leaving date. And even in this thing, most of the candidate, what they do, they write 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to hide the gap. So I will suggest to those candidates कि you don't have to hide your gaps. To have a gap in your career is not a crime. You have to accept that if there is a gap, you have to accept and you have to go ahead with that. So to hide the gap, don't manipulate your joining and leaving date. Okay. So you have to write whatever the format now I have told you. Now next is work experience. The most important aspect in resume, because whatever you will mention in your work experience, recruiter will call you. Okay, so most of the people what they do write which is irrelevant. So you have to write such things in your work experience which is having a weightage, because you have to think, you have to prepare your resume of only 3 pages. So most of the candidates, they are having 5 to 6 pages resume. So I request you, you have to make your work experience as such, which will give weightage. So what should be your work experience? The key result area. You have to mention the key result area. Then you have to mention the kaizens, any improvement, any small projects you have to write down in your work experience. Even you have to write the audit. Most of the time I have realized they have faced the IITF audit, they have faced the IELTS audit, but they don't know. We have to write it down on your resume. So most of the time you have to mention your whatever the audit you have faced, the customer audit, the third party audit. Even if you are internal auditor certified, you have to mention it. Yes, I am internal auditor certified for EMS, OSAS, IITF, ISO, whatever it. So it will give idea to the recruiter. Yes, Baba, if I have taken an internal auditor person to my company, it will give benefit to my current organization. So another important aspect is in work experience, most of the people they don't write reporting to and handled team size. So reporting to shows your level in the organization chart. Now in most of the organization they are having levels like M1, M2, M3. So these if you write down your reporting to person, it shows your level on your organization chart. Even the team size handle, most of the senior level people, the general managers, the senior manager level people, they don't write the team size. So you have to write down the team size. If you are handling 10 people, it gives a very good message to the recruiter. Yes, Baba, this person is having that capability that he can handle 10 people, 20 people, whatever it is. So you have to write down that. Most of the time now, next point is present tense and continuous tense you have to use in your sentence. So this is also ambiguity in candidates. They have to write present tense and continuous present tense in their resumes. Okay, and they have to start the sentence with the verb. Which words you have to use? Handled, overlooked, managed, looking towards. So such type of words you have to use. Okay, so these are very catchy words, and it gives a very different feel to that recruiter. And please don't copy paste your resume. most of the time what happened, the candidate, they are observe the other candidate's resume and they feel, oh yeah, this line is very nice, I have to include this line in my resume. So I will suggest ki don't do copy paste. Even most of the people, what they do, they just take the job description from the organization where they are getting interview calls, and they just manipulate their resume as per their job description. Please don't do this. Whatever the experience you have now, you write it down, you do brainstorming, ki which work, what type of work you have already done, and write it down on your resume. Don't change your resume as per the requirement of the company. Okay, whatever you have, you show it and crack the interview. Okay, now the next thing is education qualification. Now this is very important to the students, to the freshers, because in education qualification, I came to know they don't write the passing percentage. They say कि मैम बहुत कम है, मुझे मुझे 50% ही मिले हैं, मैं नहीं लिखूंगा. So you have to write your percentage because it's not compulsory, but it shows your intellectual level. You know, yeah, that 50% he has got, but most of the candidates, you know, in real life, even though they are having 50% in their academics, they are holding a managerial position in real life. So don't feel it ki baba, if I have such less amount of percentage, I can't do anything in my career. So whatever you have got percentage, you did hard work for that marks. So you mention that those marks on your resume. Okay. Most of the time, name of the degree, they write it down in short: MCM, BCom, diploma, then DET. So you don't have to write the name of degree in a very short. You have to write the full form of your degree, like Masters in Personnel Management, Master in Business Administration. So it shows a very nice, and it gives a very good feel. So you have to write the full name of your degree, then name of college with location. Why location and why the name of college and name of school? Because you don't know that recruiter may be passed out from your college. Now I completed my graduation from modern college, but if that recruiter might be from that my modern college, so you know that connectivity.
Uh, Gone on mute.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, audible.
Yeah. So you have to mention the name of college.
Again on mute,
Wo-
ma'am.
If hello,
Yeah, it's okay.
if that recruiter is from that college, it gives a very good feel. Ki, yes, I have to call that candidate because she is from my college. And why to mention location? That to create feel ki oh, no baba, and she's from Satara, and I have to call that lady because she's from my native place. So you have to write down your name of college with location and year of passing. Year of passing is very important because if you have ATKT and if you have any failure or if you have passed all your degrees, it will show from your year of passing. So you have to write down your year of passing too. So these are very important aspects you have to write down in education qualification. Now next thing is certifications and trainings attended. Now, freshers people may be having that certification. There may be different type of certification. You have to write down that certification in your resume. Even though if you have taken any outdoor training or experienced people who have attended.
Again on
On
mute,
mute.
ma'am.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
So you have to mention the certification and trainings attended, whether it is outdoor or indoor. So in certification, you have to write the name of the certification or training institute you have to write. Then date and year of that training or certification. and if passing grade, then percentage. If there is a percentage grade, you have to include that also. So this will add a good resume, because if you are SAP certified, there are many certifications available in the market. So whatever the certifications you have, and the training whatever you have to add it. Okay. Then next is achievement. Most of the people are fail to understand what is achievement. Achievement means if you have,
On mute.
and if organize, I don't know why
Yeah.
it's coming on. It's going on mute. So in achievement, most of the people they fail to understand ki if you done any project or any good work if you done in your company, and if that company had appreciated your work and that project, and that company had given you any award or any certificate or any promotion, so that is your achievement. Most of the people are fail to understand achievements, and they write something different in their achievement section. So you should have that proof ki, yes, Baba, I have received such type of achievement, and I have got such type of reward. So those achievements you have to write down. If you don't have any achievements, no issue, don't write it. Not a big issue. Then for freshers who are not experienced and who have to grab the job, so they have to grab the job through academic projects and internships. So what should be included in your academic projects? The name of company where you have worked, you have completed your internship, then duration of that project or internship, how many months or years you have completed your internship, then total team size was with you for doing that project, and most important thing is conclusion of that project, what you learned from that internship. Most of the people, they just do the projects, they do internships, but they don't learn anything. Last page of your resume should be
Saili ji, one request. Hello.
yes.
I think you can keep the other one in front of you, so you will come to know whenever it is going on mute, because it's happening
Actually,
frequently. Yeah.
because I'm communicating through mobile, and I'm unable to connect from here, from laptop.
No. If you can keep both the this one gadgets in front of you, it would be better. You will come to know whenever you are going on mute, because it is happening frequently. And if we keep on telling you, it will not be a good. Even you will break the sync.
Now, everyone, is it okay?
Just keep one of the gadgets muted, so it will not echo.
Doing
Yeah.
mute to my.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay. Now, academics. So the students have to take care of their academics. They don't have to write down the essays. So what they have to write down: the name of the company, the duration of your project, then total team size, and conclusion of the project. But you don't have to write the essays on your project. So it will help to get the job for the people who don't have that much industrial experience. So they have to concentrate on projects and grab the job. Now next thing is soft skills, behavioral skills. Uh, Most of the time, people don't know which soft skills, behavioral skills are needed for that position. If there is HR manager, HR executive, you should know what soft skills are needed for that position. Then out of it, which soft skills are having with you, which you feel, yes, I am comfortable with, I am having this soft skills, I am a flexible, I am team leader. You don't have to copy paste. Most of the time when I do resume development, लोग बोलते हैं मैडम आप खुद का डालो ना, आपको जो लगता है वो डालो, आपको जो लगता है वो क्या इतना नहीं. मैं लोगों को बोलती हूँ, यू हैव टू टेल मी, यू हैव टू मेक सेल्फ असेसमेंट कि which are your soft skills. Okay, so there are, if you go on Google, there are many such soft skills. You will get a list of soft skills as per your function. So you have to assess which who is Nagendra Pandey, who is,
Any concern, madam?
yeah, that person is always making a mute to my. Okay, so you have to find out on Google which are soft skills, and you have to make a assessment ki as per those soft skills which are uh, you are feel ki yes, I am having this soft skills, I feel near to that soft skills. So this is all about soft skills and behavioral skills. Next is technical skills. Technical skills and certification is a very different part. Certification means, I have told you, you have to go to any institute and you have to take that certification. That certification may be for 1 year, 2 year, or 6 months. So technical skills is related to IT. You know, if you know how to handle the SAP, MS Word, MS Excel, PowerPoint, so you have to write down these technical skills. Even most of the people, they might be having TPM related technical skills, Six Sigma related technical skills, that you have to mention in technical skills, not a certification. Okay, so that is a mild difference between technical skills and certification. Then next is personal information. This is very fantastic to tell you. In personal information, you have to write down very precise and important information. You don't have to provide something personal to the front person. You know what you have to include. You have to include the permanent address. If you have not included permanent address at the top of your resume, you have to mention here in your personal details. Then date of birth. Date of birth is very important for HR role because many things are connected with your age. So you have to write down your date of birth. And most of the candidates, they are having 2 date of birth. So I will suggest for these people, you have to mention those date of birth for which you are having Aadhaar card or PAN card. You have a proof. Those date of birth you have to mention on your resume because that date of birth goes ahead with whatever the HR procedures are going on. Legal procedures, say ESIC, PF, gratuity. So all these things are very depend on your date of birth. Okay. Then next is marital status. Of course, you have to write down that. Hobbies you have to write down. LinkedIn address. Now, why LinkedIn address? Because this is the social networking site for the professional people. And if any HR or recruiter has to make a background check of yours, yeah, really you work in this organization, or really whatever you had written in your resume, it is true or not. So for that, most of the HR people, they are following LinkedIn address. So you have to write down your LinkedIn address. So if there is any ambiguity, HR can go on that site and then can check everything about your profile. Okay. Next
Ma'am,
is
I have a question.
a question.
We will
who
be
will
taking
ask-
questions at the end. I was just typing that in the chat box. So please write it in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay. And next is preferred job location, preferred job industries also. Preferred job locations, most of the people, they are comfortable to work in Mumbai or Bangalore, whatever is the reason. But recruiter don't know that your preferred job location is that. So if you have such preferred job locations in your mind, you have to write it down on your resume. Okay, even If you have preferred industries, you can mention that industry also. Okay. Next is which things not to be included. Now this is very important because I had seen in everyone's resume they write everything like self-declaration that whatever the information I had written which is very true to myself. Then they write down the gender. Even they do the fancy font. They use the fancy font for the resume. You don't have to use fancy font. You have to use a very Times New Roman, a very professional font you have to use. You have to use the size of your font for the heading should be 14, and the small whatever you will write in small should be 11. So 14, 11, that ratio you have to maintain. Profile photo. Most of the people they are having doubt ki whether I have to include the photo or not. It depends upon that organization. If organization is demanding ki yes we want profile photo on your resume, you can copy paste your photo on your resume. Otherwise, it is not compulsion that you have to put a photo on your resume. Okay. Then
Saili,
ne-
Mrs.
have you
Saili,
stopped sharing the screen or how it is?
no, I'm
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah.
Ek
No, no.
minute.
No, ma'am.
it's gone off.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. It's network has been lost actually.
Yes, no worries.
Network has been lost actually. So it's okay now. It's going to finish now. Last PPT is going on.
Okay.
Sure.
So which things should not be included? Your self-declaration. You don't have to write down then gender. You don't have to mention religion. Most of the people they write religion also, then nationality also. If you have to show that you are Indian, mention India in your address. If you have to go outside outside of India, you have to search the job. You can write on your preferred job location that I'm looking for Dubai or USA or UK, and even you can write down on your address that India. Okay. Then caste. Most of the people I had seen they write down the caste also. You don't have to mention your current CTC. You don't have to mention your current CTC and expected CTC. No, don't mention it. Notice period. Whenever there will be an interview, if you have selected, when they will tell you what is your notice period, what is your current CTC, what is your expected CTC, at that time you have to tell. And number of children. I have two, I have one number of children. No, you don't have to mention that also. Okay. And now all this is about resume. Now I have to talk to you about interview. So, madam, shall I continue with interview? Yeah,
I think we should take up the question and answers because it will take a lot of time, I think.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because interview also there are many things. It will take
Absolutely.
too much long time. So, if anyone is having
Yeah. So
question, please.
Yes,
before
ma'am.
we take the question and answers, just to summarize the session, I would say that yes, Saili ji, you are the right person because you have been in this field. You are experienced person who has not only worked but also has worked on preparing the CVs. You know the details. So whatever tips you have given related with the difference between the CV and the resume, what it should contain, what it should not contain, what are the things that you should take care of, because yes, I have seen many of the guys writing the essays and then it becomes really boring even to watch the CVs or even to go through it. I learned many of the things from this session, like marking the objectives. That is really something which will show right from the beginning that yes, this candidate is something different. It is not a cut paste. Similarly, whenever we talk of skills, it is always better to write what we have, whatever it may be, because there are certain things in life which makes you different from others, and that should also come out of your CV. Okay. while writing the achievement, it is always a question, but you have explained it in a proper manner that whatever achievements you have, you do write, because it may be not a big achievement for others, but for you it is important. And we always see that people who tell about their achievements get definitely selected rather than those who do not tell, because your CV is nothing else but a sort of image that you are portraying in front of the uh, recruiter. Similarly, the company background and the connect with the clients that you have, that was also one thing which I found very apt when you are writing the CVs. You have very correctly mentioned the difference between experienced CVs and the CVs of the students, because projects, the internship, the details of your qualification with experience, with years of passing. Okay. Similarly, what not to mention, like children, caste, creed, the details about the notice period and CTC is also something which is a good learning and a key takeaway, I would say. So with this, I will sum up, and Shruti ji, I think we should start taking the questions, because it's the time is going up like anything. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Nitin Dangalji. Sir is Associate Director LEADEC, and we thank you for summarizing this. It's been a real value addition, I'm sure, for the people who have been attending. I have a couple of questions on screen. Shubham asked, should we write both the addresses or one would be enough, or which should be prior?
No, just now I have told you, if you are coming from your native place, if your native place is out of Pune, and if you are searching a job in Pune and your native place is Nagpur, you have to write down both the addresses, Nagpur and Pune, because if recruiter is from Nagpur, you don't know on Naukri.com or such other portals who will see your resume. So you have to write down both the addresses. If you are properly from Pune area, no issue. You can write one address. But people, there are many people, they are coming from outside to Pune or Mumbai. So you have to write down both the addresses. It will give a very good communication that yes, I am from Satara, I am from Nagpur to the recruiter.
Correct. There's one more question from Mr. Shinde. However, it's not very clear. So I would request you to please write again. Ma'am can follow some same arrangement point that you told for presentation of CV. If you can get this question, Saili.
Okay, I could have show you, but my okay, but then also I will try you. I will try to show you one.
Probably there's another question that says if you can show a sample resume.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is another question while you're sharing it, if you can take that. Ma'am, another address also have to mention, I think someone is asking, is the place or the location that you are applying for, is that required to be mentioned?
What? I didn't got the question.
Um, Another address, uh, do you have to mention the address or the location that we are applying for?
Means preferred job locations. He has to say. Yeah, you can
Yes.
add that. I have told you that if you are in Pune and if you want to do a job in Mumbai, Bangalore, so you can put down preferred job locations in your personal details. Preferred job locations, preferred job industries. कि I am working
Right.
in pharmaceutical industry, now I have to work in sheet metal industry, whatever it may be. So you can mention the industry also, because this pandemic situation have changed many people's perspective of industries, you know. Many people have changed their industries because many industries have hampered a lot. Most of the travel industry people, they have suffered a lot. Now what these people will do, they have to write down their industries, where they will go,
Mm.
no? They have to write down ki yes baba, now my market is down, I have to search a job in another industries. So which are those industries? The logistic industry is there, the transportation industry is there, because all travel people, where they will go?
Correct. Um, yeah. Are you sharing the screen or should I take the next question?
Yeah, can anyone is able to see this resume
Yes, it's visible on screen.
visible? See
Yes.
this is how this was. I have not delete her name. See how it was, the resume, how it was. See, it is in pictor. This is in tabular format. Okay, and diploma in computer software, duration, then other qualification, then experience. How she had written. She had not uh, detailed how she had written. See, there is no what the front person will say कि कुछ feel ही नहीं हो रहा है ना. Now I will share another resume. I have developed a resume and I have prepared this. See now how it
Wonderful.
is. How it is. How fantastic. Core competencies, work experience, functional attributes, education qualification, technical skills, and in last, personal dossier. Okay.
Wonderful.
See the font color. I have used blue color. Even graphics I have used here. Then tax consultant and GST, like how precisely, then functional attributes. Why the recruiter will not call her? Recruiter will call her, no? And how was the previous resume? Recruiter will say, no, Baba, I will go.
True.
Hmm?
So that I think this, if you can just keep this on screen because there's question on the similar lines. Radhika asks, "Hello, ma'am. Which resume template do HR or recruiters prefer for students or freshers apart from traditional Word resume?
See,
Could you please suggest
there
any
are,
particular website or service to build a functional resume?"
no, actually, there are many good formats available on the internet also. You can develop your own resume also. But there is not specific template or such like that. No, you can use your own template. You have to take care ki how big your resume is. If you are having so many things on your resume, you have to write it like how I had developed this resume. You have to take this format. Now a few people are having two columns on your their resumes. So the people who are having a precise resume, they can make their resume in two columns by including graphics, how I have included this graphics, or I can use the pie chart or something like that. Even I can use that also. So there is not a rule, policy, law that you have to use such type of template for HR, such type of template for resume. What you have to see, what you can give a feel to the recruiter.
Right.
You have to give that feel to the recruiter. That recruiter should not feel a headache. ओके कि बाप रे ये क्या रेज्यूमे मेरे सामने, मैं नहीं देखती उसे. मैं खुद, मैंने जब इतना रिक्रूट, मैंने इतने रेज्यूम्स देखे हैं ना, जब मैं शाम को घर आती थी मेरा सर दुखता था, मेरे
So
आंखें,
they,
मुझे मुझे चश्मा लगा उसकी वजह से, यू नो, कि वो देख के उनका फॉन्ट साइज, एक कुछ तो बड़ा फॉन्ट है, एक कुछ तो छोटा फॉन्ट है, फोन नंबर भी ठीक नहीं है, बीच में ही
right,
बड़ा बड़ा फॉन्ट यूज किया है, बीच में ही छोटा फॉन्ट यूज किया है, बीच में ही रेड लाइन आ रही है नीचे, बीच में ही
right.
स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक्स. बाप रे, आई एम
Oh,
रियली frustrated with all of these things. So
Mrs. Saili so rightly pointed out, because as an image coach and soft skills trainer myself, I always say that a resume is your first impression. So अगर
yes,
आपको कौन सा impression create करना है, वो हिसाब से आप आपका resume design करना is what I can say here.
yes.
There's one more question, and I think that may have been answered, is can a resume be more than one page?
You know, if you have to grab the job outside India, your resume should be one page. If you are having 15 years of experience now, then you decide how you will show your 15 years of experience in one page.
Awesome.
And I have designed international resumes also. It is very challenging, to write 15 years of experience in one page, including your education, including your organization working, your soft skills, your
Right.
achievements, your contact details. So it's really challenging. But in India, this concept has not developed. But if you go outside, there is a one page resume concept. They don't have time to read your resume. Even few IT industries, they have a software for filtering of resume. Many
Right.
of the IT people, they don't know. If they have those words in your resume, they will call you, they will shortlist you. They don't have recruiter, they don't have time to see your resumes. So they have a software to shortlist your resume. I don't know, few people might be knowing or not knowing, but this is a fact.
Very true. Um, we are already at 8:50. Can I take a couple of more questions, because I can see a list of questions.
Because yeah,
Uh,
because we have to learn interview. In interview also many candidates are failing.
um, there's one that I can see here is how to deal with gaps in study. So how would that probably be highlighted is what the question is.
Yeah, if there is a gap, I have told you, if there is a gap in your study and in your career, you have to accept it and then go ahead. And don't do any shortcuts. This is true. Because most of the organization they are doing background verifications. You don't know if you have to go Mahindra, Fiat, they are doing background verifications.
Correct.
So
Most
you have to write whatever you have. If you have any anxiety, ki baba, how I will face the interview if I have a gap, come with me. I will tell you how to face that anxiety.
Wonderful, wonderful, and I'm sure that will be covered in the interview technique
Yes,
जो करने वाले हैं.
yes.
So how do we go ahead with this, Nitin ji, Pradeep ji? We are at 8:50.
We should sum up.
Okay.
We, c-
Uh,
we can have separate session for
absolutely,
interview techniques.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because interview technique is a very big and within 15 or 10 minutes it will not get completed.
Very true. I mean, I can't, agree more than that, because definitely there's so many points to cover when we talk about interview.
Yes, yes.
Um, So, बने रहिए all the attendees, because we are definitely going to have another session and a detailed one like this on facing interviews.
But everyone liked my session because I don't know your views. You liked my session, whether it was informative.
Uh, so we had even in the chat box there are a good amount of questions. So I'm glad that people have been very interested and attentive. That shows. So thank you so much to all the participants. Do write in the chat box about this session. What is it that you would like also to see in the next one? Definitely, we are covering how to face interviews. Mrs. Saili, thank you so much for this very, very informative, detailed session.
Yes.
And